Donald Trump accusing President Obama and Hillary Clinton of being the founders of ISIS. I want to talk about that now with Michael Weiss, a senior editor at the Daily Beast and the co-author of ISIS Inside the Army of Terror. Also, CNN military analyst Lieutenant Colonel Rick Francona, the former U.S. military attaché in Syria. Michael, you first. Trump today doubling and tripling down on his claims that President Obama and Hillary Clinton are the founders of ISIS. Michael, who is the founder of ISIS?
Abu Musab al-Zarqawi in 2004. It was known then as Al-Qaeda in Iraq. He pledged allegiance to Osama bin Laden. That is the organization today known as ISIS. This is a guy who, if he had his druthers and he had the opportunity, would murder Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and even George W. Bush before them all. Okay? Osama bin Laden in 2003 said, "We are laying a trap for the United States in Iraq. We know they're going to invade Iraq, and this is the time for all the mujahideen to pour into this country and to create essentially the cynosure for Sunni jihadism." And that's exactly what happened. To claim that the President of the United States is a terrorist, and I'm sorry, every time I argue with the Trump supporters, they always say, oh, he didn't mean that. This is the liberal media misinterpreting what he said. Donald Trump went on Hugh Hewitt today, and you've played the clip. Yeah. Hugh said, no, clearly you mean he's just, by withdrawing from Iraq.
Let's roll it. Let's roll it.
Yeah.
Last night, you said the president was the founder of ISIS. I know what you meant. You meant that he created the vacuum. He lost the peace.
No, I meant he's the founder of ISIS. I do. He's the most valuable player. I give him the most valuable player award. I give her, too, by the way.
But he's not sympathetic to them. He hates them. He's trying to kill them.
He was the founder.
By using the term founder, they're hitting with you on this again. Mistake?
No, it's no mistake. Everyone's liking it. I think they're liking it. Let me ask you, do you not like that?
I don't.
Go ahead.
Most valuable player. This is the Republican candidate for President of the United States calling the current commander-in-chief a terrorist. Okay? There is no way to parse this otherwise. This is not open to interpretation. He's just said it. He doubled down with Hugh Hewitt. Hugh Hewitt said, no, I don't like this. Come on, here's your chance to explain yourself. You mean by withdrawing? Look, I have been one of the most vociferous critics of the Obama administration on its Middle East policy. I have written more on what this administration has done with respect to Syria and Iraq that has inadvertently enabled ISIS to proliferate and expand throughout Syria and Iraq and now the world. To say, though, that this president is in some way a fifth columnist or is backing a Sunni jihadist movement. And by the way, if this candidate had misspoken, right, if this was a one-off, fine, let him correct the record. This is somebody who for 5 years has been saying things like, Barack Obama was not born in this country. Barack Obama is perhaps a black Muslim. Let's see his birth certificate. This is a man who is trafficked in every insane conspiracy theory, the things that you find in the Russian state media, the things that the Ayatollah of Iran, the supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, tweets. This is what Donald Trump is saying. This is a man not fit to mow my lawn, much less run for president. And I'm very serious about the threat of Sunni jihadism. I wrote a book on this subject, okay? I take this very, very earnestly.
I want to get my other guest in. Lieutenant Colonel Rick Francona, what do you think, what do you make of this? And you just heard the soundbite from Hugh Hewitt. Hugh Hewitt, who is a conservative radio host and a, to use his word, vociferous critic of the Obama administration and of Hillary Clinton, trying to give Donald Trump a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance to correct the record.
Yeah, he gave him the perfect out. All he had to do was say, yeah, that's what I meant, and then follow up on that and say exactly what he believes. And those are common positions. A lot of people believe that the power vacuum created with the what I believe was the premature withdrawal of American troops in 2011 from Iraq, the refusal to help the Free Syrian Army in 2012. These are the two big power vacuums that created what ISIS is constituted as today. I just do want to say one thing. ISIS as ISIS really didn't exist until 2013, though, because it was the Islamic State in Iraq, but you didn't bring in that Syria piece until after 2012. You know, when we're talking about the creation of ISIS, although it existed in name only, it really didn't exist as an organization until 2013. Trump could make all of these points. There's valid criticisms there. There are valid topics for discussion, valid topics for argument. But to say he's the founder of ISIS is beyond the pale. That just is not true, and there's no reason to even go there.
So, Rick, you know, just last year, retired Army General Michael Flynn, an outspoken supporter of Trump and his harsh critic of President Obama, blames the fall of Baghdad for ISIS. In an interview with the German magazine Spiegel, he wrote this. He said, As brutal as Saddam Hussein was, it was a mistake to just eliminate him. The same is true for Muammar Gaddafi and for Libya, which is now a failed state. The historic lesson is that it was a strategic failure to go into Iraq. History will not be and should not be kind to that decision. So, Rick, the decision was not President Obama's, it was President Bush's. This is a Trump advisor. So right. Why is it Obama and Clinton's fault?
Well, if you're talking about what happened in 2003 and the decision to go in, the invasion was actually kind of well planned and well executed. They took down Baghdad in record time. They'll study that advance for a long time. The problem was the follow-on. The plan was never executed. We disbanded the Iraqi army, put 300,000 Iraqis out of work, most of them Sunnis, and they became the backbone of the insurgency. We just did the wrong thing after the takedown of Baghdad. So in that instance, General Flynn is correct. But I disagree that we didn't have a plan. We just didn't follow our own plan.
Yeah.
As far as it being Obama's fault, it's not there.
I got to get to Michael quickly. If you could tell me, you said that you wrote a piece today saying that the Syrian rebel who is fighting for Assad and ISIS, they want Trump to win in November. Why is that?
Yeah, ISIS pays very close attention to what's happening in the world. They do not, despite their propaganda and their messianic rhetoric, they don't think they're going to be driving tanks down Pennsylvania Avenue. What they hope to do is destroy Western civilization by forcing the West to enact policies against ISIS and extremist organizations that will vitiate and weaken the West. This rebel I've known for 5 years. He has been all throughout Syria. He has fought Assad, Hezbollah, Iran, and ISIS. And he said to me, Michael, all the jihadis on the ground want Donald Trump to win. And I asked him why. He said, because they think he's going to destroy America before they'll ever get the chance to do so.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Colonel Frankone. I appreciate that. Coming up, Hillary Clinton's email controversy is not going away, and Donald Trump is on the attack.